Whereas if we look at herbivores, what do we have there?
Right, we said herbivores feed on the plants. So they took that energy that the plants produce and they're using that. The energy from the plants then transferred, like I said, to the herbivores. The next organisms are the carnivores and they feed on the herbivores. And obviously they get the energy from the herbivores. Carnivores die, what happens? Saprophytes decompose the dead organic material and the minerals in the soil are replenished because the organic material is brought back into the soil. This is a cycle of life, people. Animals exhibit social behavior to obtain nutrients and to ensure survival. If you look at this situation, then you realize that every organism in any ecosystem is dependent on each other. And this is what's happening from the plants right up to animals, right up to the little decomposers, bacteria that we spoke about all throughout the year.
We are all interdependent on each other. Remember, inter means between. So we are, I mean, think about it. The decomposers depend on the organisms all the way up that food pyramid. Why? Because when they need those nutrients, which in turn they decompose. And while they're decomposing, they're getting nutrients. They're putting the nutrients back into the earth. That feeds the plants. So the plants take their minerals, salts and vitamins from that, and they grow with the energy from the sun. That's eaten by the herbivores, which is eaten by the carnivores, which is eaten by the omnivores. Okay, and as each one dies, they decompose and put the nutrients back in the soil. Why? So that the herbivore, at least the producers, the plants, can then grow again. So every single level in that food pyramid contributes to everyone's living and everyone's livability on this earth. Livability is now a new Kathy Farida word, but it's our livability. It's in order to be interdependent, and we need each other. And the minute we take one of those groups out, or even one portion of each group, we cause huge issues and problems in our processes and in our living processes. Now we have symbiotic relationships, and a symbiotic relationship means to be together, where and how we are interdependent. So organisms live together, and there's a physical interaction that exists between the different species to live, to survive. And what do we need to survive, people? We need food, water, shelter, space. We need that to survive. We've already established that. Okay, we need not to be eaten by predators. I don't know about aliens, but anyway, we need not to be eaten by predators, and we need to stay alive and heal when we get infections. So there are symbiotic relationships throughout, and you've done these over and over and over again. So let's have a look at them. We have
parasitism, mutualism, and commensalism. Let's look at parasitism. Now here you'll find there's a relationship again between two organisms, but they're from different species, and where one organism benefits, and that's usually the parasite, and the other is harmed, and that we call the host. Now there are two types of parasites that we have. Some are endoparasites, which live inside the host, and your good examples there are the tapeworm, the threadworm, bilharzia that we spoke about, and malaria that we did in the year.
These are all horrible little creatures. Okay, they get into your body and you don't even know they're there until you get extremely ill. So these are horrible. I mean, threadworm, you've got to see what those things look like. They are hideous. All right, and what is it from? It's from people being unhygienic in water. So those endoparasites are there waiting in anticipation in still water.
And remember, they're benefiting, and you are the one that are harmed. The ectoparasites, again, ecto means outside. They live on the body of the host. And examples there are fleas, lice, and ticks. And I'm sure a lot of you are used to ticks because dogs have ticks on them. And don't you get infected with a tick, because that's very, very dangerous.
You end up with tick bite fever and you get very ill. So make sure, as Frida says, that you dust your dogs and cats, that you wash your, okay, I don't know if any of you want to try and wash a cat. That is a very painful experience. Okay, but although cats clean themselves, but make sure that you dust your animals, put tick and flea collars on them. You know, at Hardy does that we have in our gardens. Rita, they are off. Okay, they eat snails, yay. But you know what they also do is they drop ticks all over the show, and that hops onto your cat. So it doesn't mean that your cat or your dog is dirty when they've got ticks, but your lice and your fleas. No, 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 no. Make sure that you keep your animals nice and healthy. Then we look at mutualism. A relationship exists between two organisms of different species where both organisms benefit. Now remember, parasitism, one benefits, one doesn't. One is harmed. Mutualism, both organisms benefit. So you've got the rabbit and the microorganisms in the cecum, which help it to digest its nutrients. You've got your sea anemones and your hermit crabs. You've got your nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the root nodules of leguminous plants. Now, can you think of any others? I mean, I can think of one that we're busy teaching the matrics at the moment, whereas in the large intestine, or the colon, you've got E. coli, and they can make you as sick as anything, but the ones living inside here live happily. You give them a dark, warm, moist, nice place to live. We give them potassium and nutrients, and they take the potassium and convert it into vitamin K, which helps us with our blood clotting. So that's a mutualistic relationship, people. Parasitism, one benefits, one is harmed. Mutualism, both benefit. It's a mutualistic relationship. Think of your friendships that you have. They are mutual. It's by mutual agreement. And then we've got
commensalism, again, two organisms of different species, but this time one organism again benefits, like the parasite, but the other is neither harm or benefits. Now remember, parasites, the host was harmed. The examples are epiphytes growing on tree trunks. You'll see those lovely green little things on the trees, but now they're living on the tree, they're benefiting, and the tree is not harmed.
Not harmed.
But not benefiting. Okay? Birds nest on a tree. I think all of you know that. Birds are benefiting by having their nests there, protecting their little eggs, but the trees have no benefit from this relationship. All right? And then we get the shark, a very interesting one. Always near the shark, you'll find tiny little fish swimming around, referred to as a remora fish. And what they are doing, they're tiny, they're vulnerable to predators. So they're saved by being next to the shark. Secondly, they're getting the tiny bits of meal from the shark as they're eating. So they're getting two things, of little food as well as getting away from the predators. So they are saved. And the shark doesn't benefit.
Yeah, the shark doesn't care whether they're there or not. Okay, but you've also got, what are those little egrets that are always around cattle?
Oh,
and as the cattle,
the
tick birds, it would be, that would be mutualism. Because with the tick bird's eating the ticks and filling his tummy, her tummy, and the cow is now losing the ticks, which is, that's mutualism. But as the cows walk through the veldt, so the insects fly up, and then the little egrets come and they eat the insects. So the cow doesn't care, the cow's doing its normal thing, and the little egret benefits, so it stays near the cow. So people, these are all cute, nice, sort of schmiddy type things to remember. So mutualism, parasitism, commensalism. Just to recap, because we're going to have to end off quickly now. Parasitism, one benefits and one is harmed. Mutualism, both benefit. Commensalism, one benefits and one doesn't care. It doesn't matter. It sort of happens. All right, so there you go. That's it for this week. Have a good one, and speak to you soon.
Right, keep well. Till next time.
Summary. In this lesson, you learned about symbiotic relationships, competition for survival.
Learning Channel offers an extensive educational collection ranging from grades 8 to 12 in alignment with the National Curriculum Statement. We offer DVD and workbook sets in a number of different subjects. To buy the Learning Channel series, check out our website on www.learn.co.za or call us on 011 639 0179.